My name is Alex, and before I met Jesus, I grew up in a Christian home. Both my parents, they died when I was 5 years old, and I was uh, adopted by a good family, a Christian family. They took me to church on Sundays and on Wednesday nights, and they sent me to a Christian school, Freedom Baptist Academy. Even with all that in my life, I still did not want anything to do with Jesus or Christians. I always found the rough crowd and hung out with them. Even though I knew what was right and what was wrong, I believed in my head what I was taught about Jesus and that He died for me, but I never repented of my sins and made a personal relationship with Him. Always wanted to search for the things of the world and please myself and have fun. I thought Christians were boring, and I didn't want to live that life yet, even though I felt Jesus pursuing me with the gift, but I didn't want to turn and receive it quite yet. When I was 18 years old, like I said, Jesus was pursuing me, and I was feeling convicted of all the wrong things I was doing, the crowd I was hanging around with, and I was into drugs and alcohol and just down and had enough. One night I was just in my bed by myself, and I knew what to say. I said it many times before, but never really meant it. I just told God that I'm sorry for my sins and to come into my life, and I want to live for Him.
Hi, I'm Becky, and my life before Jesus didn't look as bad as Alex's did. No, I'm teasing. I was saved when I was 7 years old. It was August 15, 1991. I was at an old-fashioned tent revival at our church, and there was a little person. We called him a midget back then, but I know that's not correct now. It's a little person. He was the preacher that night, and he cut the generator, and it was pitch black. And of course, he talked about hell. So I was scared to death to go there. And I knew what I had to do. I mean, God convicted me. I struggled with, can you be saved out of fear of going to hell? And I've struggled with that throughout the years, and God finally, just in the last few years, showed me that yes, fear can be a tool that He uses to draw us to Himself. And so I say August 15, but really probably August 14 is when I was under conviction, and I knew what I needed to do, but there was something about the formality of going to church, walking the aisle, praying with the pastor's wife. And I did that, but when I look back, I think that August 14 was really the day I was saved. That's when I realized that my sin, my one sin, even though I was only 7 years old, my one sin is what was going to keep me or separate me from God for eternity if I didn't do anything about that.
So after I got saved, even starting the next day when I woke up from that day, I knew my life would be different. Because I wanted it to be. I truly believed that God was going to do something in my life. And I remember before I got saved too, that I'd see other Christians, and that's a lot of reason why I didn't get saved. I'd see Christians living just like I live, and I'd say, what's the point of being a Christian? And I knew eventually maybe I would get saved, and if I did get saved, I wouldn't live like that. I'd change my life, or God would change my life. And that's exactly what He did. I quit hanging out with my friends. I quit drinking, quit doing drugs, and quit going out with my friends at night and on the weekends. And my mom would come downstairs and think I was crazy because I was reading my Bible and not out with my friends.
So I am thankful that even though I was saved young and struggled with the fact that what is my testimony? You guys heard Alex's testimony, and he was a horrible, rotten person. And like he said, I'm a good person. I was perfect. I was only 7. I really wasn't. And I'm thankful that God saved me from those things by drawing me to Himself at a young age He spared me of scars that sin leaves.
After I got saved, I met my wife, Becky, at church, and we're now been married for 15 years, and we have 6 wonderful, healthy kids.
It's taken a while for me to realize that, but I think through sanctification, even, as a mom, like now that we have 6 kiddos, and I love a boring life right now. Like, boring is good when nothing's happening, and that's kind of my salvation story. Like, boring is good. I just thank God that He saved me from the scars of living a simple life.
So he did a good work in my life right away. I mean, I wasn't perfect, obviously. It's a sanctification process. He's continually working on me and on us. So
I don't really have a good, wow testimony, but praise the Lord. He saved me from scars.
Jesus changes everything.
everything.